Okay, indeed. Gaming channel, sure. Alrighty. Hello there, everybody at home. Here's our warm up. Perform the following addition, subtraction problems, and simplify these expressions. Let's see if I can get a little bit of help, because those of you at home should probably pause that in 3, 2, 1, pause. And the reason you should hold on, did you pause it and then unpause it? Because I didn't tell you why you should pause it. I'm sorry. If you didn't pause it, or if you did pause it and didn't know why, pause it, do these problems, and then we'll get to them. So now you can pause it. All right, here we go, everybody. Can I get y'all up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? All righty, here we go. Let's get these taken care of. Oh, it's thinking of opening that PDF annotator so that I can write some notes. Hello? Hello? Oh, there you are. There you are. There we go. I know first period always has so many like loading screens and calculator songs and all that good stuff. Okay, here we go. All righty. Hooray, we made it. Oh, by the way, I've learned from another teacher that if you've not finished the diagnostic yet, you can finish it from home. So I'm going to trust you guys you can use a calculator, but please don't get any help with it, okay? So if you haven't finished the diagnostic, the iReady diagnostic, you can finish it at home. Let's see here. Can I get a little bit of help from Thomas? How would you do, really any one of these? Which one do you want to tell me how to do? Number 1, okay. So negative 14.89 minus a negative 12.9. How would you consider that? Mm-hmm. So since we're doing a negative minus a negative, we know it's going to act like subtraction. You can imagine that on the number line, or you can change that to addition and use the commutative property, whatever you want to do. But you know it's going to act like subtraction. So we do that. That's going to be 9. We got to borrow that. 18, that's another 9. That's a 1, that's a 0. So it's 1.99. Now, Thomas, should that be a positive or a negative 1.99? Should be negative because I started with negative 14.89 and I took away negative 12.9, so I should still be in the negatives. How many of us are able to get negative 1.99 without too much trouble? Hooray! Let's see here. Can I get a little bit of help? And this time it's going to come from, nope, nobody's sitting at either of those seats. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. William, which one would you like to help me out with? Number 3, let's do it. So negative 118.7 plus a negative 4.39. What'd you do with that? Yeah, because if you imagine on a number line, it's getting negative and then a little more negative. So 118.7 plus 4.39, there's a 9. 0, 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Carry that. So 123.09, should that be positive or negative, William? Negative. Should be negative, exactly. Because it's negative and then it gets more negative. How many of us got negative 123.09 for that bad guy? All right, last one. Let's see if I can get a little bit of help. And this one's going to come from Xander. Xander, how would you do number 2? Very good. So you're kind of doing that simplification thing. When you're taking away a negative, that's the same as addition. And so we do that algorithm here. 79.82, 2, 10, 19, 16. Is that 169.02? Is that what you guys got? No, did I mess up? Where did I mess up? Where did I mess up? 19. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. Writing it down wrong will get it wrong every time. Well, hopefully. Let's see here. That's better. So that's the 13, and that's 100. There we go. So, and should that be positive or negative? It should be positive. Yeah, 163.02. How many of us feel like that's not too bad? No big deal. Cool. Excellent. Hey, it's the 12th day of school, guys. You know that 12 is a highly composite number since it has more divisors than any other integer less than it. What I mean by that is just popcorn out some numbers that go evenly into 12. 6, 2, 3, 4, 1, 12. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 divisors, which is more than 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Yep. And happy Diatomaceous Earth Day. Yay! Diatomaceous Earth is basically like fossilized seashells that you can crush up. Like there's like a huge abundance of these things. And they're mostly used in my understanding. My experience with them is you use them in like pest control, because if you put it on the base of your like floorboards and stuff, if bugs walk over it, it's such a fine seashell crush that. Do you guys know how bugs breathe? Insects and insect spiders, those guys, they don't have lungs. They actually breathe through their joints. They breathe through their joints, which is actually why when you see a movie about giant spiders, it's super impossible for lots of reasons, but one of them is that a giant spider would not be able to get enough oxygen in its joints to survive. So that would be like scary for 2 seconds. Like if there was a spider the size of a car, it'd be like, oh, it would just instantly die, and you'd be like, that was scary, but for like different reasons. Like I wasn't afraid for my life, but that sure was unusual. But anyway, basically what it does is it's these tiny little like glass-like particles that are generally harmless to us, but they're small enough that they get inside the joints of bugs, and so it suffocates them with glass. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not a very nice way to do it, but it gets the job done. All right, let's see here. Can I get a little bit of help up here? Andy, what's our first essential question today? How do we add? Uh-huh. And the sequel's never as good, you know. How do we add and subtract rational numbers given to us as fractions? Okay. By the way, top artists in Spotify by song. This is number 4, Dance the Night Away, the Barbie movie cut. We got a lot of people here. Let's go for, I'm going to go right here, Ella. Ellie. Sorry, Ellie. That is Dua Lipa. That is Dua Lipa. Anyone know what the baby need is? What's the baby need over there? What's the baby need? Yeah, William. It's a diaper. Diaper. Yeah, I needed to make him stink line so you knew it wasn't just underpants. So, all right. Let's see here. Underneath all this, got a pencil? All right. Today we are adding rational numbers, and I'm going to use Q. Part 2. Fractions. Yay. Everyone likes adding fractions, right? I know. You know, I'll say it, guys. It's funny. Like, we're so mad at fractions when we're learning to add and subtract them, but when we're multiplying them, we are sure glad to see them. Right? Yeah. It's a total role reversal. Adding and subtracting decimals, we love it. Adding and subtracting fractions, no thanks. Multiplying decimals, kind of a pain. And multiplying fractions, the best. The best. All right. So let's just make sure we understand how we're supposed to add fractions together. So we're just going to do one standard fraction here. So I want to know if I have 5/8 minus 5/12. How do we handle something like that? By the way, you guys did an awesome job this morning getting all your notebooks out. I think you guys do deserve a point for that. I forgot to do that. Oh, yeah. And I appreciate you guys listening to me now. You guys are doing awesome there, too. Oh, yeah. Hooray! Go ahead, guys. Talk to each other. How do we do something like this? Teach! Okay, can I get you back up here in 5? 4, 3, 2, 1. Russ, how do we manage that? What do we need to do with this? Beautiful. Excellent, because we have to keep it an equivalent fraction. Very good. Beautiful. Excellent. Yeah, we need to get that common denominator. Basically, what's happening, guys, is if we have two equal, uh, let's see, I actually don't want that to be a square. If we have two equal things like this, and you've got 5/8, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got 5/8 like this, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and totally even sized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to be able to talk about them in even terms, and in order to do that, we have to split it up so that they are actually equally sized, right? And that's sort of what's happening when we're doing that. So maybe you can see where this is headed. So let me ask you to do this one. Got a pencil? What if I said negative 5/8 plus a negative 1 3/7? That's not a 7. That's a 7. Very good. Negative 5/8 plus a negative 1 3/7. By the way, go ahead and put your pencils down for a second. Put your pencils down for a second. I'm going to show you something here that a lot of people ask me about, and it's about negatives and fractions. So if I have a fraction a over b, and there's a negative by it, people are like, so wait, where does that negative go? So guys, the negative in a fraction is like the killer in a horror movie, in that it might be outside the house, maybe it's in the attic, and maybe it's in the basement. But it's not in both. Unless you're watching Scream, the original Scream movie, it's not in both because there's only one killer. So that's what we're saying. Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying when there's a negative, you can put it in the numerator or the denominator or outside, and they all mean the same thing. But that's not to say that they're both negative. Okay? Give that a try and let's see how it goes. Teach, teach. Okay. Can I get you back up here? Oh, no, you're still working on it. Keep going. Keep going. Sorry. Some of you guys still working on it. I'm not going to stop you. Okay. Now can I get you back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Emma, how did you manage this problem? Beautiful. So you turned your mixed number into an improper fraction by 1 times 7 plus 3. Good job not making that mistake, because a lot of the time people will say, well, negative 1 times 7 is negative 7, and because they're getting a little ahead of themselves. And then you add 3, and that's like negative 4. You know what I mean? This whole thing is negative. This negative 1 3/7, that whole thing is negative there. So that means we're going to change it into negative 5/8 minus negative 10/7. Perfect. What is the common denominator? Yeah, we can't really get fancy with that one. You know what I mean? We just have to use the denominators. Always disappointing. So we got negative. Hey, is it doing that thing? Oh, yarg! Hang on. I gotta restart it. I hate it when this happens. I know. Hang on, where's my yarg? Let's see. Yes, I like that you guys gave me a yarg also. When that happens, you should. It's very yargable. Yarg. Overwrite yarg? Yes, I'll be overwriting yarg. I'll be closing this out. And then I've got to reopen this. Oh no, the secret inner workings of Mr. Petersen's files. Gesundheit. I feel like I'm hacking my own software. I'm in. I'm pulling up tomorrow's warm-up. Guys, tomorrow's warm-up's not done yet. All right. How funny would it be? That would be a really funny heist movie if people were like, they hack into the system and then realize that the guy they're hacking into hasn't actually done his job yet. Like, he's like, it's due tomorrow, and he's like, that hasn't started, and they're like, what? Like, what are we supposed to do now? Okay. So yes, yes. So that becomes negative 3556 minus a negative 80. Is it plus? Oh, sorry. Thank you. 56. Cool. Got it. Thank you. I know it kind of got me, but go ahead. Now what are we gonna do, Emma? Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. What was the original? Am I doing it? There we go. Yeah. So we're gonna add. Yeah. 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 I see what you mean. You're doing negative 35, 56. You're simplifying it to minus 80, 56, but we're adding them together because when you do a negative minus a positive, there we go. I'm on board. Back on board. Oh, that's a 10. Yeah, sorry. That's my ones look a little bit like twos. See, I got the 80 over here, so we're okay. And then what does that finalize? What does that give us ultimately? Negative 113.56. Negative 115.56. Excuse me. I do not believe that reduces. No, I don't think that does. You might be able to turn it into a mixed number. Let's see, 56, 112. So that would be negative 2 and 356. Now, just so you know, Canvas will accept this answer or this answer unless it specifically tells you which one to use. And how you would type those into Canvas is this one would go in as negative 115 slash 56. And this one would go in as negative 2 space 3 slash 56. It's like one of the very few times you actually use a space bar in your answer on Canvas. So this is what I want to see on your paper, these ones in boxes, and these ones circled. That's how you would type it into Canvas. Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. Cool. Perfect. How many of us find this a little arduous, but we know how to do it? It's not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the thing about fractions is like, they're not really difficult. They're just kind of annoying. All right. Let's see here, guys. Let's try this one. Got a pencil? Absolutely. Negative 2 and 9 tenths minus a negative 1 and 4 fifths. Go ahead, guys. What is negative 2 and 9 tenths minus negative 1 and 4 fifths? Teach! You guys feeling good? I think you guys might be agreeing. So check it out. Here's what I think. I think Olivia is saying that -2 and 9/10 minus -1 and 4/5. It's kind of like if I owe you 2 and 9/10 of apples and then you take away 1 and 4/5 of my debt, which I have no idea how that happened, but that's why it's acting like subtraction. And then what I think Isla is saying is that she wants to simplify it to this, and then that would also act like subtraction. Is that am I reading that right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you guys are good. I love it when that happens. You guys are agreeing. You're just taking it from different ways. You're coming at it from a different direction. So I think you guys are in good shape. What does your shirt say about raccoons? Always be yourself unless you can be a raccoon. Raccoons live the life, man. It's just about. They also have creepy hands. Mm-hmm. All right. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Kale, how would you handle this? How would you think about this? I love it. Into what? What did you call them? You know what? I think we should officially change the name of them to plain fractions because there's nothing improper about an improper fraction, right? Like, I mean, there's some funny jokes out there. Like, I remember I saw one where it's like 2 and 4/5, and then there's like, uh, what was it? It was 24/5, and this one's like, you can't leave the house looking that improper, young lady. Like, uh, and no, okay, but I like plain fractions better because I love how we're like, oh, those fractions are so improper, but I'm happy to use them to get what I want, right? Like, it's like you spend your whole day like ragging on them and calling them names, and then when it's time to add fractions, you're like, hey, hey, I know I call you improper in public, but can you come help me out? Anyway, go ahead, Kale. 29/10, 9/5. Perfect. By multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by 2. So I get -29/10 minus a -10. Good job, Mr. Petersen. What's 9 times 2? Why, that's 10. 18/10. Good thing we got a long weekend. Clearly, I need it. Go ahead, Kale. Keep going. Yeah, so since it's a negative minus a negative, this was actually happening over here with Olivia and Isla, is that Olivia is thinking about it the same way you are, Kale, where it's -29 minus -18, which is really just taking it away, and that leaves me with 11. So is that going to be positive or -11/10? -11/10, which again, you can write here, or like this, or like this. Well, certainly not like that. And then Isla was thinking about it like with the like the simplification way. She was thinking -29/10 plus 18/10, and then you can, since addition's commutative, that simplifies to 18/10 minus 29/10, and we can do the subtraction there. Yeah, go ahead, Emma. Talk to me. Tell me about it. Yeah, so what you're thinking of is that's -2 plus 9/10. Yeah, there's an invisible plus sign in here. Oh, sure, sure. So add uh, 1 plus 4/5. Uh-huh. Oh, hold on. So wait a minute. So shouldn't that be a minus? Oh boy, minus negative 1 and 4/5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. These parentheses are going to go off the rails, but I'm going to show what that looks like kind of when I see students do that. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. So you have negative 2 and 9/10 minus a negative, and then you thought of this instantly as 1 and 8/10. You made the common denominator in here, right? And then you said negative 2 minus negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 9/10 minus negative 8/10 would give me that negative 1/10. So it's like you're doing it a piece at a time. Totally fine. You're more than welcome to do that. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Got a pencil? Absolutely. 4 and 3/8 plus a negative 3 and 9/10. Go ahead and give it a try. Teach it a teach. That one's kind of hard. Like get a little tongue-tied. Oh, so sorry. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Ellie, how did you handle this? Tell me what you were doing. So that was the first thing you did. What common denominator did you use? So we're going to multiply that by 5 and those by 4. That's going to change the problem into 4 and 15/40. Are you trying it Emma's way? Is that what I'm seeing? Awesome. That's cool. I love it when people say, is that normally how you do it, or did you just want to try it? That's cool. That's awesome. I am loving that, Ellie. I love it when people see something new and they're like, I just want to try that and see how it works. So negative 3 and 36/40. Okay. Go ahead, Ellie. Now what? That's right. So now we can kind of think of what Isla was thinking about, where we take these, and since adding a negative, that's what subtraction is shorthand for, we're just going to change that into a subtraction problem and make it nicer to look at. Now it looks like something we've actually had to deal with in the past. Keep going. No, go ahead. So 4 minus 3, because something's about to happen. Go ahead. Yeah, we're going to have to borrow, right? We're going to have to do some borrowing because I can't do 15 minus 36. Well, I can. 15 minus 36 is 21. Is that correct? So this would be, if you did it that way, crazily 1 and negative 21/40, which means that you've got a positive whole. That becomes kind of a nightmare, right? So I actually really like what you're thinking here. We're going to borrow 1 from that guy, okay? And that would be 40/40. So that becomes 55/40. And now 3 minus 3 is 0, and 55 minus 36, let's see here, 15, is that 9? That is 19. 0 and 19/40, or 19/40. So Emma's way totally works. How many of you think it might be a little easier on that one just to go with the impropers? Maybe? How many of us are keep doing it Emma's way? Guess which way I want you to do it?
Either.
Whichever way you want. Whichever way you want. Okay, guys, so here's what I would like you to do. We've got about 10 minutes of class. I want you to use that to work on 1.5, excuse me, 1.5. I heard there were some issues with 1.4, perhaps. If you've got that, please pull that out and ask me questions. I'm happy to help you guys. I'm here to help. I'm going to get set up for my next class here, but yes, go ahead, you. No, that's a great question, guys. Self-assessments don't go on your grade, and we're going to talk on Tuesday about how self-assessments, why they matter. That's what we'll talk about that on Tuesday, okay? Go ahead. That's all I got.